What happens when the city that never sleeps begins to dream a nightmare? Las Vegas, once hailed as the world's capital of entertainment, excess, and endless opportunity, now finds itself at the center of an unfolding crisis. The glittering strip, lined with towering casinos and neon lights, still shines as brightly as ever. But behind those lights, troubling truths are surfacing, truths that may define the future of this iconic city. In June 2025, Las Vegas Mayor Shelley Berkeley stood before cameras with an emotional plea that shocked many. "We love you, we need you, and we miss you." The words weren't part of a marketing campaign, they were a desperate call to bring international visitors back. For decades, Vegas thrived on global tourism. Today, however, the city is facing declining visitor numbers, falling hotel revenues, and even cyberattacks targeting its largest casinos. Las Vegas is no stranger to challenges. It has survived recessions, pandemics, and competition from other global gaming hubs. But this time, the storm is different. This time, the cracks are showing in both its economy and its reputation. And the world is watching to see if Las Vegas can survive its most dangerous gamble yet. The story of Las Vegas has always been told in numbers that dazzled investors, governments, and travelers alike. But the latest statistics paint a darker picture. In June 2025, the city welcomed 3.1 million visitors, down more than 11% year over year. For a place so dependent on tourism, that figure is devastating. Hotels, once boasting near constant occupancy, saw rates fall by 6.5 percentage points, while average daily room prices dropped almost 7%. More alarming still, revenue per available room, a key indicator of financial health, declined by nearly 14%. These aren't just abstract percentages, they translate directly into fewer jobs, fewer tips for service workers, and shrinking revenues for city budgets. Analysts estimate that the decline in Canadian tourism alone cost Las Vegas over $3.6 billion annually, along with more than 43,000 jobs. It's no wonder that Mayor Berkeley pleaded with Canadians in particular, urging them to return. The reasons for this decline are complex. Inflation and high travel costs have made trips to Las Vegas less appealing for middle-class families. The strong US dollar has priced out many international travelers. Meanwhile, competition from destinations like Macau, Singapore, and Dubai has grown fierce, luring high rollers and global tourists with fresh luxury experiences. But the challenge doesn't stop with external competition. Internally, Las Vegas has struggled with its own contradictions. Casinos are still making billions, but their success hides a fragile ecosystem. The Strip's economy remains overwhelmingly reliant on tourism, and when that lifeline falters, there is no fallback. For decades, leaders ignored warnings about diversifying the economy. Now, the consequences are unavoidable. The bright lights of the Strip still glow, but the math behind them tells a chilling story. Las Vegas is losing its most valuable resource: the steady stream of people who keep the city alive. Numbers alone would be troubling enough. But the deeper wound lies in something far more intangible: trust. In September 2025, one of Las Vegas's largest casino operators, Boyd Gaming, confirmed what many feared: hackers had penetrated its internal systems. Sensitive information about employees, and potentially customers, had been stolen. The breach sent shockwaves across the city. Boyd Gaming is not a fringe operator. It owns more than 24 properties nationwide, many in Las Vegas itself. If such a giant can fall prey to hackers, what does that say about the security of other operators? Lawsuits quickly followed. Former employees accused Boyd of failing to maintain adequate cybersecurity measures, while customers began to question whether their personal and financial information was safe. In a city built on the promise of escape, privacy, and luxury, such doubts are toxic. Las Vegas is supposed to be a place where people feel free to indulge, not where they worry about identity theft or data leaks. For decades, the brand of Las Vegas rested on trust, that your money, your experiences, and your memories were safe within its walls. Now, that illusion is cracking, and the problem goes beyond Boyd Gaming. Cybersecurity experts warn that casinos are prime targets. They handle vast amounts of sensitive data, from financial transactions to loyalty programs and personal records. Many rely on outdated systems, making them vulnerable to sophisticated attacks. In recent years, hackers have already infiltrated global casino networks through unexpected weak points like an internet-connected fish tank thermometer. For Las Vegas, the Boyd breach is more than a corporate scandal. It is a symbol of fragility in a city that has always prided itself on strength. Trust, once lost, is nearly impossible to rebuild. And without trust, can Las Vegas truly remain the entertainment capital of the world? The people of Las Vegas know better than anyone that their livelihoods are tied to tourism. When the hotels are full, bartenders, taxi drivers, show performers, and small business owners thrive. When visitor numbers drop, the entire ecosystem suffers. This time, the pain is widespread. Workers fear layoffs, unions brace for bargaining battles, and residents worry about the city's ability to sustain itself. For the average resident, the Boyd gaming breach was more than a headline. It was a personal reminder of vulnerability. Many employees had their social security numbers and private records exposed. Local lawsuits accused Boyd of gross negligence and failure to notify victims quickly. On social media, residents voiced frustration, saying, "If casinos can't protect their own workers, how can they protect tourists?" Tourists themselves are reconsidering. High rollers from Europe and Asia, once drawn to Las Vegas for its promise of security and discretion, are questioning whether their personal information is at risk. Even casual visitors now weigh whether the cost of a trip is worth the potential headache of compromised data. Internationally, Las Vegas's reputation is shifting. News outlets abroad highlight not only falling visitor numbers, but also security breaches and rising costs. Competing destinations seize the moment, marketing themselves as safer, fresher, and more trustworthy. Macau advertises its modern resorts, Dubai emphasizes its cutting-edge luxury, Singapore promotes its tightly regulated casinos. Economists echo the concerns. With tourism contributing more than 30% of Southern Nevada's GDP, they warn that any sustained loss of trust could spiral into long-term economic decline. It's not just about fewer tourists this month or next, it's about whether Las Vegas can hold on to its identity as the global capital of entertainment in an era where data and safety matter as much as bright lights and gambling wins. The crisis facing Las Vegas is not just temporary turbulence, it reveals a structural weakness that has been building for decades. The city has been a one-industry economy, with tourism, gaming, and hospitality forming the backbone of its identity and revenue. While that specialization created unparalleled growth, it also left the city vulnerable to sudden shocks. The pandemic should have been a warning. Travel restrictions and shutdowns crippled Las Vegas in 2020. Yet when recovery came, leaders doubled down on tourism once more, failing to diversify into industries like technology, logistics, or renewable energy. Now, as international visitors decline and cyber threats emerge, that lack of diversification has become glaring. Resorts have attempted to adapt. Caesars offered unprecedented deals, 2 nights plus $200 in food credit for just $300. Resorts World experimented with free parking and waived resort fees, though those perks quickly vanished. Such promotions may attract short-term attention, but they also highlight desperation. When an industry starts cutting into its core profit centers just to maintain occupancy, it signals more than generosity, it signals distress. Meanwhile, the costs of doing business are rising. Inflation has pushed up wages, utilities, and supply costs, squeezing margins. At the same time, competition from international hubs continues to grow. High rollers who once considered Vegas the only option now find comparable experiences abroad. For residents, the structural crisis means instability. Housing markets, already volatile, are sensitive to job losses in hospitality. Local governments, heavily reliant on gaming tax revenues, face budget pressures. Schools, infrastructure, and public services all depend on the strength of the Strip. When that falters, the entire city feels the strain. Las Vegas has always thrived on reinvention, from desert outpost to mob town, from mob town to mega resort hub. But reinvention now requires more than building bigger casinos or flashier shows. It requires rethinking the very foundations of the city's economy. Without that, the crisis of today may become the new normal of tomorrow. Las Vegas is more than just a city, it is a national symbol. For millions around the world, it represents the spirit of America. Freedom, entertainment, and ambition. When Las Vegas suffers, the impact ripples far beyond Nevada's borders. On an economic level, Las Vegas is a juggernaut. The city generates billions in gaming revenue, hospitality taxes, and international tourism spending. A decline in visitors doesn't just hurt local workers, it reduces state and federal tax income, straining budgets across the US. For a country already grappling with inflation and high debt, a wounded Las Vegas is one more weight on the economy. Culturally, Las Vegas's struggles tarnish America's brand abroad. Global headlines about empty casinos, desperate discounts, or data breaches undermine the image of American stability and innovation. Rival destinations are quick to capitalize, branding themselves as the new Las Vegas of the East or the Middle East. For a nation that once exported cultural dominance through Las Vegas's neon glow, the symbolism of decline is stark. Security-wise, the Boyd gaming hack highlights a national vulnerability. If hackers can breach one of America's largest entertainment companies, what does that mean for airlines, banks, or government agencies? Las Vegas's troubles serve as a warning that America's digital infrastructure is under siege. Finally, politically, Las Vegas often serves as a bellwether. Its struggles with immigration policy, sanctuary debates, and economic diversification reflect broader national challenges. What happens in Las Vegas may not stay in Las Vegas, it becomes part of the American story. For the United States, the fate of Las Vegas is a question of identity. Can the nation protect its symbols of prosperity, or will the decline of its most iconic entertainment hub mark a turning point in America's global influence? The lights of Las Vegas still burn bright against the desert night, but their glow no longer hides the shadows. Declining tourism, economic vulnerability, and cyber insecurity have exposed the cracks beneath the glitter. Once hailed as invincible, the city that never sleeps now faces a reckoning. For locals, the crisis means uncertainty. For visitors, it raises doubts. For America, it signals a test of resilience in a rapidly changing world. Las Vegas has reinvented itself many times before, but reinvention now demands more than neon and spectacle. It requires trust, diversification, and vision. The nightmare is not yet irreversible. Deals and discounts still lure tourists, shows still dazzle, jackpots still ring. But unless deeper changes are made, the nightmare may become permanent. So the question remains, will Las Vegas rise from this crisis, or will it become the cautionary tale of a city that bet everything on luck and finally lost?